you have to remember. One is known as determination and other one known as free will. Determination means that you are agree whatever the power of the institution is saying to you. Okay, you would be agree. Free will might be possible, something you may be disagree. Okay, you may resist whatever kind of instruction you are getting from your power institution. You might say that I am disagree with them. Okay, there are basically from these two terms there are basically three kind of different approaches we can get. Okay, one is known as consensus approach and the other one known as conflict approach. Okay, consensus, as name suggests, you will be agree. Okay, consensus is like that whatever they believe on the consensus approach, they will say that power institutions are doing great in the society. Okay, we should follow them and we are agree whatever the thing they are doing in the society. Conflict said no, we should change the society, they are not working properly. Okay, so there will be some kind of a disagreement. Okay, so we will discuss basically two terminologies into the heading of conflict. The first one is known as Marxism. You can see known as Marxism. Okay, the ideology of the Marxism, you need to understand that they are basically disagree with the society. Okay, they want to change the society. Okay, that basically gives two options to us. They said there are two classes in the society. One is known as socialization, the other was known as capitalism or capitalization. Okay, he said basically society is controlled by those people who have huge amount of capital. They want and they control the whole society. Society will do whatever they want. It shouldn't be like a scripted, because society will do whatever they want. What they want? So capitalistic people. They want to introduce some kind of a liberalism, like they want to give some rights to the society. They want socialization. Okay, now we will discuss what is the basic ideology and how they conflict the society. This is not consensus approach. They said we are not in the favor of those institutions who are working in that particular society, and these institutions basically hold by those capitalistic people. Okay, now if you see the diagram, if you see the slide, every man's basically need, this is the ideology of the Marxism. Okay, then you will get better idea that what is the difference between basically capitalistic and socialization. Okay, now the first if you look Shares, every man's basically have three kind of a basic needs. We divide into three parts: food, cloth, and what? Shelters. Okay, now if you want to produce food, cloth, shelters, you need something. We said this is known as material need. Okay, you need some kind of a material. What kind of a material? To produce foods, cloth, shelter. Okay, if you need material, that's mean there are some sources that you can produce that particular material. Are you getting my point? So what are these resources? Natural resources. Okay, nature basically give you some raw material. By using these raw materials, you would be in a position to produce either food, cloth, and shelter. Okay, might be possible. I can say that nature can give you a land. By using these land, you will produce a different kind of foods, cloth, whatsoever, shelters. Okay, so the material production you will use from where? You will use basically from the nature. Okay, now the another good thing is that every humans have different ability to produce different kind of products. If you give land to one person, might be possible he will produce some kind of food. If you give land to another person, might be possible he will produce some kind of a home. Okay, he will build a home. If you give that particular land to someone else, he will produce something else. So every man's have different ability to produce different kind of things. Okay, so ability to produce unique among humans. Now the idea is that if nature is giving us a raw material, and by using these raw material we produce materials. Okay, and by using these material we produce our basic needs. Now the question is this, that where is the nature then? what are the sources of that raw material, what are the means of the material production. Like we are talking about, for example, in sense of land, then who has land? Why we can't use the land as a raw material to produce our basic need? They said the means of the production is basically held by capitalistic. If you see the diagram, the means of the production, some own and control it. There are slightly people who basically hold this means of the production, mean like a land. They are known as dominant class. And the other class basically who don't have that particular means of the production, they are known as dominated class. Now you can see the land, which is basically the means of the production, and by using these means of the production you can make a basic needs of yourself. This means of production is controlled by a very some group of the people, okay, and these group of the people are known as dominant class, and the other one is known as dominated class. They will decide that what should be and what could be your salary, shares. Okay, now if you see, both have different interest level. The capitalistic, they decide that you will give 9 to 10 hours to us, you will work for us, and we will decide that, for example, 30 to 40,000 will be your salary. Who are they? Why they are going to decide? Because they are the dominant class of the society, and the other one known as dominated class. Both are basically what? Both are basically have a different or both opposing their interest. Okay, you will resist my interest, I will resist your interest. Okay, I will give you, for example, if I want to take work from you, I will say if you do well in this month, I'll give you some kind of a bonus, let's say 5,000. Who am I? I am just dominant class and you are the dominated class. I have different interest, you have your interest, we both have different interest. This is known as class struggle. Okay, both classes are struggling. The reason is that the dominant class basically hold and control the means of the production. By using these means of the production, you can produce your basic need. So if you want to make sure that you want to fulfill your basic need, what you will do? You will go for a job. Okay, so Marxism basically decide that, and he gave the definition of the society. Remember that he said history of the society has been the history of the class struggle. Are you getting my point? So this is basically the difference between, you can say, Marxism gives the ideology about the class difference, that there are basically some classes who are working in the society, and both there is a huge amount of a gap between these classes. Okay, so now you can see he is not in a position to support whatever kind of social institutions working in the society. They are going to oppose them. So that was the first ideology we are discussing under the heading of the structuralism. They said that basically we have basically two approaches, consensus and the conflict. So we want to change the society, we want socialization, so every person have access to the natural resources. If, for example, we have a water, I will give access to everyone. If you have a oil, you need to give access to everyone. If everyone have access to the natural resources, then there is no inflation. If you want to produce your basic need, you can do it. Are you getting my point? So that is the basic idea, conflict idea given by the Marxism.